just find your way inward a bit more. Just notice how you're feeling today at this moment. You might go from physical sensations that are usually a bit more tangible and more kind of a bit more specific, maybe easier to sense or describe. So you might notice the ground underneath you, surface holding you, the contact that your body is making with that surface. Maybe sensations or warmth, cold, something in between. Maybe the contact of clothing on your skin. And then making your way to noticing that your breath is happening. And you can add a little bit more intention behind each breath. And you might explore making your inhales a bit more expansive. Your exhales, maybe they start by a releasing exhale, letting go of whatever happened before this moment. And then maybe you begin to use your exhales to find a little bit more your center. At the end of the exhale, finding that slight engagement at the kind of the bottom of the ribs, just above the belly button or behind it. And maybe taking comfort in the wave of the breath, the inhales always followed by an exhale, the exhales always followed by an inhale. And whatever that wave might mean for you, that endless cycle, always a new opportunity for a breath in and a breath out. And maybe to root your attention, your mind a little bit more on that breath, you tune into the sound of your inhales and your exhales. And again, that wave, once again, endless wave of breath. And then you could stay with your eyes closed, but turn your palms to face up towards the ceiling. And as you turn your palms up, allow your elbows to be heavy and to pull your shoulders down and away from your ears. But don't let your spine collapse. So let your spine keep lifting tall, your chest stay broad. And then bring your pinky and thumb to touch. And just for a moment, feel that contact. As if you hadn't touched your pinky and thumb ever before. Notice what you find there. And then we'll add a little bit of strength through those fingers and that thumb. So we're going to start pushing the thumb into the pinky and the pinky back into the thumb. And you're going to begin to do that with a little bit more action, a bit more effort. For 5. Keep pushing. For 4. For 3. For 2. And for 1, and then release. Feel that release of effort. You might feel it all the way up the arm to the shoulders. Maybe you give your fingers a wiggle. And then we'll do the same with the next finger. So ring finger and thumb are going to come to touch and feel that contact, the texture, the temperature, anything else. And then keep that contact and begin to find that resistance, pushing thumb into finger and finger back into thumb, and hold that for 5. Feel that strength in your fingers for 4, for 3, maybe going up the arm for 2, and for 1, and then release, soften, feel the softening all the way up to the shoulders, maybe even chest and upper back. And then let's bring the ring finger and middle finger and thumb to touch. And then again, just a moment to feel that contact. Maybe a little movement. And then begin to find a bit more action here. So you're pushing thumb into that finger and the finger back into the thumb, and you're holding that for 5. It's a bit stronger for 4, for 3. Maybe there's even some shaking for 2. And for 1, let it go, complete release, maybe a wiggle, a breath. And then lastly, index and thumb are going to come to touch. And first just feel that gentle contact. And then make it a bit more intense, add that resistance, finger pushes into thumb, thumb into finger for 5, a bit stronger for 4, maybe feel it all the way into the shoulders, 3, for 2, and last for 1, and let it go. Wiggle those fingers, give your shoulders a roll. And then turn your palms to face down with your eyes open or closed. Drop the chin towards your chest. And then guide the right ear towards the right shoulder as you find the stretch through the left side of your neck. If you like, add some rotation through the neck, chin towards the shoulder, and then chin up towards the ceiling. And chances are some tension might have built up all the way into the neck from that hand, finger, thumb exercise. And then as you're ready, draw the chin back through center and take the left ear towards the left shoulders. Now you find a stretch through the right side of your neck. And maybe you stay here, or maybe you add that rotation, chin towards shoulder, chin away from the shoulder. A few times at your own pace. See what you need. And then when you're ready, bring the chin back to the chest and lift it away from the chest. Looking forward, we're going to keep the gaze in front of us. So pick a spot in front of you. Your eyes are going to stay there, and then you're going to turn your chin or your head towards the right. So keep your gaze in front. Notice the stretch around the outer eyes. And then come back through center. Facing forward, gaze is also forward, still on that same point. And now we'll turn the head towards the left, but your eyes stay on that point. Notice maybe the vision changes a little bit, but also see if you can feel a stretch around eyeball, eye muscles. And then come back through center. And then we'll do the same now, chin towards the chest, but keep the gaze in front of you, that same spot. And then chin lifts, gaze on the same spot as you take your chin away from your chest, lifting it towards the ceiling. And just go as far as you can keep your gaze on that same spot. And then bring the head back through center. Blink your eyes a few times. And you could even close your eyes or your eyelids and then just move your eyeballs kind of around a bit. Very softly, just gentle. And then blink your eyes open. Bring the shoulders all the way up by your ears. Squeeze them in. And then drop them down. And then do that again. Bring them up. And to soften them. And one more like that, lift and soften. With your next inhale, sweep your arms wide and overhead. And on your exhale, a side bend towards the right side. Inhale, come back through center, and then take that bend towards the left. Inhale back through center. Interlace your fingers overhead, palms towards the ceiling, and give yourself a stretch Feel it through your fingers, the palms of your hands, your wrists, all the way into your armpits, your rib cage, your waist. Another breath in. And then as you exhale, release right hand behind you, left hand crosses as you find a twist. And let the head go around, and maybe even turn your head to look over your right shoulder. And come back through center, breath in. And then take that twist towards the left. And again, let your head go around as far as feels comfortable to you. And then as you inhale, come back through center. Find the opposite interlace of your fingers. And again, palms towards the ceiling. Give yourself that stretch. Breath in. And then on your exhale, releasing those hands all the way down by your side. And then we're going to meet with the feet planted, the knees and the feet wide. And we're going to come onto the heels of the feet. So your toes are going to lift towards the ceiling. Your hands can frame your hips here, maybe a little back behind you. Give your toes a little stretch, a wiggle, a few here. And then pause that. And we're going to pivot on those heels as we take those knees towards the left side. As you inhale, come back through center and take them to the right. And inhale back through center and to the left. And center and to the right. Now as you inhale, come back through center, take them to the left, bring your right hand over, and then push the inside of your right knee down and see if you can awaken that internal rotation. Very slight, right foot might lift some off the ground. So internal rotation through your right hip, right thigh. It will be very slight, so you're pushing down through the inside of your knee. And then return, right hand comes back, knees come back up, and then take that to the other side. Left hand comes over. Pay attention to the inside of your left knee, and then see if you can encourage some internal rotation, left hip, left thigh, as that left foot lifts off the ground, any amount. Just see what's available. Even if it doesn't lift, the work is still there, so don't worry. As you inhale, bring yourself back through center. And then heel to toe your feet in, maybe a little bit more space between chest and thighs, and then see if you can find a seated figure 4 with your right ankle just over your left thigh. Send your right knee away from you, flex through your right ankle, so toes towards the shin. Take a breath in and take a breath. And then from here, loosen this up a little bit and just drop your knees or your legs towards the left. Maybe your right heel taps the ground, and then bring them back up. And then try that again towards the left. Bring it back up, and now see if your right thigh can go over towards the right and tap. Okay, so if you see this from the front, it's like we're going from side to side, but keeping this figure 4 shape. A few times. See again what's available here. And then bring it back through center. Release that figure 4 on this side. Take your feet wide once again, and then drop your knees towards the left. Right hand comes over. Turn your torso any amount towards the space behind you, and then again find the inside of that right knee and see if that right foot can lift any amount. And then return back through center, knees up, and let's take it over towards the right side. Left hand comes over, and then see if that left foot lifts any amount. But find some internal rotation action here. And then come back. And then we'll find figure 4 with that left ankle over the right thigh. So take a moment to get there. And once you have it, again, flex through your left foot. I like to flex through the one that's on the ground too, so you could do that also. And then we're going to drop this figure 4 towards the right side. Maybe tap with a heel. Come back up. Do it again towards the right, tap. And then come back up, and now see if the left thigh can come down towards the left. And then up. And then a few times from side to side at your own pace. You might find that your hips start walking forward. That's what they're doing to me. And then bring yourself back through center. Release that figure four, both feet plant. And then bring the soles of the feet together. See if you can bring your shoulders over your hips, or walk your hands in if you were reclined back. Maybe stay here or hands in front of you, around ankles or shins. We'll take a full breath in to lengthen. And on the exhale, round forward and down. You might walk your hands forward. You might drop the head. Breathing in and breathing out. Another one. Last one here. And then as you inhale, lifting that spine, we're making our way up to stand, but we'll try it 2 times. So you could try this with your hands or without. Cross one ankle over the other, plant your feet, and then with some momentum, send your weight forward. See if you can come all the way up. Keep your legs crossed, and then see if you can make your way back down, just the same way to find a seat. And then cross your ankles the other way, and try it this time also, maybe with hands or without. You're coming up. Your legs are still crossed, and then slowly see if you can come back down. And then from here now, we're going to try it without crossing the legs, and we'll just come up. So a little momentum, plant your feet, and then see if you can come all the way up to stand. I'll meet you in mountain pose. Once you get there, a roll through the shoulders, a wiggle through your fingers, maybe weight forward and back on the soles of the feet. And then find that stillness, that grounding, and arms reach wide and up. Inhale. On your exhale, right arm down, side bend. You could pause here for an extra breath, find a bit more space in this left side body, left side of your chest. And then when you're ready, come back through center, and the same thing on the other side. Little pause here, finding that extra space. And then inhale, come back up. On your exhale, we're folding over the legs. Inhale to a halfway lift, lengthening spine. And exhale, fold, drop the head. 2 more like that. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And another one, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, bend your knees and rise into chair pose. And on your exhale, bring hands to your heart. Lift your left heel, come onto the ball of the left foot, maybe even your tiptoes, and then lower. Lift your right heel, and then lower. 1 more of each, left, lower, and right. And lower. With your next inhale, straighten legs, reach your arms tall, side bend, exhale. Come back through center, breathing in, and over to the other side, breathing out. Back through center, inhale, forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, fold, exhale. Another one, half lift, inhale, fold, exhale. And last one, inhale and fold, exhale, back into chair pose, inhale, and bring hands to your heart, exhale. Right heel rises onto tiptoes, maybe toes leave the ground, and extend the leg in front of you. And then return, toes down, heel down. Left, inhale, maybe lift, leave the ground. And then return, 1 more of each, right. Return and left, staying with your breath. And then once feet are grounded, inhale, rise up, exhale to your side bend. Come back through center and to the other side. Back through center and forward fold. As you inhale, find a halfway lift, and on your exhale, plant your hands and step into downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, come out into plank pose, inhale, and return downward facing dog. Use this to give your toes a bit of a massage, stretch. Inhale out into plank. Maybe you come onto the tiptoes. Exhale back into down dog, heels heavy. One more, inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, lift the right leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee, and then begin to rotate your right hip in any direction. And then switch direction. And then extend that leg out behind you, and then bring that right leg behind the left, and see if you can plant your right foot to the outside of the left foot. Maybe you need to make your down dog a little shorter. Feel free to have a bend in the knees, sit bones lifting up and back. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, lower your knees to the mat so you still have them crossed, but you're coming into this kind of table pose with your legs crossed. And then from here, untuck your toes, tops of the feet down, and then we'll shift forward and back with the hips. You can use your inhale to come forward into a bit of a cow with your spine, and as you exhale, a bit of cat as your sit bones go towards your heels. And again, inhale, forward, and exhale, and back. With your next inhale, come back forward, tuck your toes, and then come back into your cross leg down dog. And then from here, uncross your legs, return to your regular downward facing dog. Do the same with the left side. Left leg will rise, bend that knee, and begin to rotate through your left hip. Start in one direction, take a few circles, and then when you're ready, switch. As you inhale, extend the leg behind you, and then that left leg is going to come behind the right as you find this cross leg downward facing dog. And feel free to resituate your feet, maybe a little bit more space between them, anything like that. And take a full breath in here. And then on your exhale, bend the knees and lower them towards the mat. Untuck your toes, tops of the feet down, and come forward with your hips, cow spine. And round as you send your hips towards your heels, cat. And two more times. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, taking it back. And another one. Inhale, forward. And exhale, back. As you inhale, come forward. Tuck your toes. Lift those knees. This cross leg downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And out. And then uncross your legs, return to a normal down dog and walk your feet towards the top of the mat. On your exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, rise into chair. And exhale, bring hands to your heart. Lift the right heel, maybe toes leave the ground, extend the leg in front of you, and then cross that ankle just over your left thigh, coming into a figure four, standing balance, figure four. Take a moment here. And then release, right foot returns to the ground. You're still in your chair position, left foot leaves the ground, extend the leg, and then bend the knee, crossing ankle over thigh, or figure four on this other side. Take a breath. And then return, left foot back on the ground, both feet planted, straighten legs and arms, inhale, and find your side bend, exhale. Come back through center and over to the other side. Back through center, forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, and downward facing dog, exhale. Breath in. And breath out. And so we're going to try a down dog figure four. Okay, so we'll start again with right leg lifting. We'll bend that knee and we'll find some rotation just like we did before. A couple in one direction, a couple rotations in the other direction. And then see if you can now cross your right ankle just over your left thigh, still in this downward facing dog. So you've got a figure 4 with your legs, but you're still in down dog. There you go, nice job. Take a full breath in, breath out. And then on your inhale, keep your figure 4, lift your left heel, and begin to bend your left knee as you lower that left knee to the ground. So now you're coming into kind of a table pose figure 4. It's a bit of a, like a little bit of a strange one here. And then walk your hands in. So I'm on the ball, well, on my left toes, my right knee, and then my left shin is behind me. And then I'm going to walk my hands towards me and then see if you can lift your torso. So you're standing on your legs in this figure 4 position. A little bit of a balancy one. So find that engagement through your glutes. Think about pushing your hips gently forward. And then on your inhale, sweep your arms overhead. And as you exhale, bend your left elbow, drop the hand behind you, and right hand is going to draw that elbow in to find a stretch through your left armpit, left triceps. Take an inhale. And take an exhale. One more here. And then when you're ready, release your arms, bring them back to the ground. You're back into that table, tucking your left toes if they're not already, and then come back into your figure 4 downward facing dog. Drop the head, look from side to side. And then release your right foot, return to your regular downward facing dog, both feet are planted. Come out into plank pose for an inhale. And then return to downward facing dog, exhale. All right, we'll try it on the other side. So when you're ready, that left leg lifts. You can bend the knee, find a couple rotations in one direction, a couple in the other. And then see if you can find your down dog figure 4 with the left ankle just over the right thigh. So sometimes it's best to do this with a shorter down dog so that your right heel can be nicely planted. And you can also think about your right thigh pushing into your left ankle as much as your left ankle is relying on your right thigh. Take another breath. And then as you inhale, lift that left heel and then slowly bend into your left heel, not right heel. Slowly bend into your right knee as you lower that figure 4 to the ground into this kind of table position. Okay. And then we'll walk those hands in towards the legs and we'll lift that torso. And again, give your hips a little squeeze, a little push forward, your shoulders aligned over your hips. And then as you inhale, reach your arms tall. As you exhale, bend your right elbow, left hand to elbow, as you find now that stretch through the right triceps, armpit, rib cage, full breath in, a full breath out. One more here. And then release that, hands return to the ground. You've got this table pose still, your figure 4, and when you're ready, lift back into that figure 4 down dog. And take a breath in, and take a breath out. And then we'll release this figure 4, both feet on the ground. Take an inhale, come out into plank pose. And then on your exhale, lower all the way onto the belly. Tops of the feet press down, cobra, inhale. Find space in your chest, space between ears and shoulders, and lower, exhale. Another one, inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. And one more, inhale, cobra. And on your exhale, move through all fours and downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out. With your next inhale, walk towards the top of your mat. And on your exhale, fold. Come back into chair pose, inhale. And exhale, bring hands to your heart. All right, so we're going to come back into that standing figure 4. Your right knee is going to lift, cross ankle over thigh. And then you could pause here, work it here. You could also think about sinking a little bit more down with your hips, and then maybe even bringing your chest towards your legs, maybe extending your arms forward. Just play around a bit, see what's possible here. It's a balancey one. And the stability is going to require kind of some working with those like opposing forces, right? So kind of that reaching forward as you reach back at the same time, sit bones back, hands head forward, pushing thigh into foot or into ankle, ankle into thigh. Few of those things for stability. And then your breath, of course, okay? 2 more breaths wherever you are. And then when you're ready, releasing both feet to the ground, your arms can sweep overhead, side bend, exhale. Come back through center, inhale, and take it over to the other side, exhale. Back through center, inhale, folding forward, exhale. Find a halfway lift, inhale, and step it back, downward facing dog, exhale. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. On your inhale, come forward into plank. And as you exhale, slowly lower down. Tops of the feet press down, coming back into cobra, inhale. Exhale and lowering. Again, cobra, inhale. Exhale to lower. And one more, cobra, inhale. And then through all fours, downward facing dog, exhale. Full breath in and full breath out. We'll meet at the top of the mat once again. Forward fold. And we're meeting again in chair pose, inhale. And hands to heart. All right, so now your figure 4 on the other side. So your left knee is going to lift, ankle is going to cross over thigh. And then find again here your place, your effort and your ease, your balance. And then whatever you are doing, make sure that you can come to that breath. So if you're finding some challenge, make sure it's not so much that you can't breathe intentionally with presence. You can do what we did before, reaching arms forward. You could keep hands next to you. You can bring hands onto a piece of furniture. That might be what you need today. 3 more breaths. And then as you're ready, releasing both feet plant. You could sweep your arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, side bend. Back through center. And to the other side. Back through center and forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. And step it back, downward facing dog. Exhale. Once you get to your down dog, relax the neck. Look from side to side. And push the floor away with your hands. Get that traction through your spine. Heels are heavy. Stretch through the backs of your legs. Another breath. And then let's lower the knees into a table pose. Bring the hands on the shoulders, your knees more or less under your hips. As you inhale, take a cow pose, drop the belly, chest forward, gaze up. And on your exhale, cat, round your spine, chin towards your chest. 2 more times, inhale. Exhale. And another one. And then return to table pose. Extend your left leg all the way out behind you. And on your exhale, draw that knee into your chest and round your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. And left knee to right elbow. On your inhale, lengthen. Pivot on your right knee. Open into a supported side plank to your left. Left arm can reach tall. Left leg can stay lifted. You could pause here, or on your exhale, bend your left knee, heel to glute. Maybe left hand reaches back for that left ankle, shin, foot. If you have the foot, push the foot into the hand. Squeeze through that left glute, open up through the left side of your chest. Maybe the right ear drops towards the right shoulder. Another breath in. And out. And then release slow and controlled and return to your table pose. On your inhale, find that cow pose. And as you exhale, find cat. Walk your hands towards your knees. Come onto your fingertips and find extra rounding if that feels good. Full breath in. And out. And then we'll return onto hands, back into that neutral spine table. Right leg extends behind us. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, extend. Right knee, right elbow. Inhale, extend. Right knee to left elbow. On your inhale, extend. Pivot now on your right knee. Open up towards, no, on your left knee, open to your right. You've got this supported side plank now on the other side. And again, just a few options. And there's always the option of keeping your right foot on the ground. And this might be plenty. You can use this to open up through the chest to find that lift too. If it's available, if you'd like to take it, right knee bends, your right heel towards your right glute, and maybe your right arm reaches back to find the foot. And again, see if we can use this to find a bit more space. Right side, chest, front of right hip, maybe left ear, left shoulder. Most important, find the breath. One more. And then release slowly, return to your table pose. Take an inhale, cow. And as you exhale, find that rounding and drop the sit bones towards your heels as you take a child's pose. You choose arms in front, arms underneath you, arms by your side. And maybe ask the question, what part of the body needs that oomph or that space of the inhale? What part of the body, maybe the same one, could do with the release, the softening of the exhales? A couple more breaths. And then with your next inhale from your child's pose, come all the way onto the belly. And then you could here make a pillow for your forehead with your forearms and just rest your forehead like that. So your belly, your chest is supported on the ground. Let's try that first. So we're going to bend into the left knee and we're going to slide that left knee out to the left and up. So you're bringing your left thigh more or less kind of in line with your left hip. I like to flex here through my ankle too, so toes drawing towards shin. And there's kind of 90-degree angles more or less in that left leg. Now think about pressing down through the inner part of your leg towards the ground and keep the front of your left hip heavy towards the ground too. This might be plenty of sensation. Stretch for that inner thigh, left kind of groin side. But if a bit more is available, if you'd like to lift your chest, you could come onto your forearms or keep pushing down through the front of that left hip. You're going to find a bit more compression here through the lower back, so just take this to where works best for you. A couple breaths here. And then we're going to try and take this into a twist. So what we're going to do is we're going to thread that right arm under the left. You're going to bring the outer right shoulder to the ground and then begin to turn your torso towards the ceiling. So you're keeping your left knee here on the left side, on the same side, but you're turning now your torso up. Left arm maybe comes out into a T. Hopefully that's made some sense. You don't have to bring your left shoulder blade to the ground, or just take it where it feels right to you, where you can breathe. And then we'll return onto the belly. We'll extend both legs. Again, make that pillow for your forehead. Relax your legs, maybe wiggle your hips a little bit from side to side. And then as you're ready, bend into your right knee, slide it out to the right and up. And feel the inner part of that right leg pushing down towards the ground, front of your right hip also kind of heavy towards the ground. And stay down with your torso, or if it feels right, you could come up, lifting that chest, coming onto kind of shoulders more or less on top of elbows. And again, still that inner part of your right leg making contact with ground. And then we'll take it into the twist on this side. So just like we did before, this time it's the left arm, the kind of threads under the right. You bring the outer left shoulder to the ground, and then keeping your right leg on this side, you open up your torso towards the ceiling. Your right arm could go out to the side. And allow there to be some release towards the ground. Maybe some open mouth exhales if that feels good. And then we'll make our way completely onto our back bodies. So you could do it by just bringing that right leg over. And then you might need to scoot back onto your mat. But now your front body is facing up, your back body is on the ground. And bring those knees into your chest. Some rocking side to side, front to back, some circles. And we did a lot with the hips. So it might feel nice now to do this with your knees together, kind of hugging the legs together. As you give that lower back, that sacrum, a massage against the ground. And then as you're ready, plant your feet. Knees are bent, but let your knees rest against one another. And if you'd like a little bit more space between your feet, maybe even big toes closer than heels, kind of pigeon toe. And then you can bring your hands to lower belly, lower ribs. And find the position for your lower back that feels most comfortable and supported. And then begin to just wiggle through the rest of your spine up towards the head. So you might be able to shift your shoulder blades a little bit side to side, up and down to get them well grounded. Feel your back ribs also grounded. And then up through the back of your neck. Maybe the back of your head slides back. Your chin might feel like it comes a bit closer towards your neck or chest. And then I'll just feel your breath under the hands, the movement of the inhales and the exhales. And maybe come back to that idea of a wave. And there's always another inhale, another exhale, another opportunity to be present, another opportunity to be here, to feel that breath. Notice if your attention is still on your breath. If it isn't, can you bring it back? Gently, compassionately. And you could spend these last moments in Shavasana, still paying attention to your breath. Or you could let now your attention just go wherever it goes. Open awareness. Encourage softness, ease in the physical body. Softness and ease in your breath. And softness and ease in your mind. As always, feel free to stay in Shavasana for longer if that's available, if that feels right. If not, use your breath to inform some gentle movement back into the body. And eventually we'll meet in a seat to end practice together. Your hands may be resting in your lap or maybe at your chest. You might stay with eyes closed or eyes open. You might give yourself an extra breath. And let's acknowledge and appreciate here the practice itself. And appreciating ourselves, our willingness to practice. Appreciating all those who have practiced with us. And appreciating all those who have made it possible. And we'll end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.